Oh dear. Don't know if this is true or not. Is it just a rumour? But apparently Star Wars Outlaws has only sold 1 million copies to date. Who knows? Let's take a look. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn those bell notifications on. I can actually believe this, to be honest, because the figures that we've got in terms of the individuals playing this, they're not huge. They're in the thousands. So I can believe this. Now it says this. A new rumour claims that Ubisoft only sold 1 million copies total for Star Wars Outlaws, far lower than analyst expectations of 5 million. I mean, that's awful. 1 million copies is abysmal. That's absolutely abysmal. So this rumour comes from Grant Taylor-Hill at Insider Gaming, who reports, quote, "We have secured a current sales figure from sources close to the game at the time of writing. Star Wars Outlaws has just ticked over 1 million sales worldwide." That is actually abysmal. That's dangerously bad for Ubisoft, the company with an incredibly declining stock. Now, as noted by Hill, Assassin's Creed Mirage reportedly sold 5 million copies after 3 months. So, yeah, I mean, it's not doing well. It's not doing well at all. So this appears to be even worse than initial reports. Games industry writer Christopher Dring noted that according to the UK sales chart, that Star Wars Outlaws had done about half of Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is what was previously thought anyway. But maybe that was just in one area, who knows. So it's also clearly significantly lower than what market analysts were expecting. Just stop making crap. Barclays' Nick Dempsey suggested that Ubisoft would sell around 5 million units during the company's Q1 financial year 2024 sales report in May. And you know what? 5 million sales? Yeah, you'd probably expect that, to be honest. But this is terrible. This is worse. Yeah, this is significantly worse than Space Marine 2, actually. That's well bad. So he thought that number was conservative at that point in time, given Ubisoft's bullishness on the game, despite multiple warning flags that the game was in trouble. Yeah, I mean, we could all tell you that this wasn't going to do very well. Isn't it amazing how these people keep taking information from these market analysts and games insiders, and like the normal average Joe could have told you this was going to bomb. Literally, average Joe could have told you this is crap. So Nick Dempsey then asked, when I look at guidance for Q2, and if I assume something similar for back catalogue in Q2 as Q1, kind of getting to 200 to 230 million euros, what kind of range for the new release of Star Wars Outlaws, when I look at the $70 price tag, and then assuming what you might get from it, I'm getting around 5 million units, something in that sort of bracket. First of all, where could I be going wrong with that thinking? Secondly, are you just being pretty conservative in your guidance? Because I guess given the interest in that game, we might have thought it would be more than 5 million units. 5 million units is bad. Well, yeah, I mean, it is bad, but you'd expect them to be able to get to it. So this extremely low number makes sense given Ubisoft's recent press release significantly lowering its expected net bookings for the second quarter, down from 500 million euro to 350 to 370 million euro, which is a 30% decline. In fact, it lowered its entire yearly net bookings to around 1.95 billion euro and around break-even non-IFRS operating income and free cash flow. But it's not just that. So the stock is up to date, FYI, but it's been pretty bad all round. It got to a low of 9.10 euro, but I mean, it's still horrendous. I don't really understand why it's bumped up today, but it has bumped up, not exactly by much. I mean, if you're looking at 6 months, it's still down 46.89%. Year to date, 55%. 1 year, 65%. So it's still not good. It's still pretty horrendous. So this company really does need it, actually. So the company admitted that the cut was made as a reflection of decisions taken for Assassin's Creed Shadows and softer than expected launch for Star Wars Outlaws, which goes to corroborate this information of whether they've only sold 1 million copies. 1 million copies is real bad. That's woeful. That's real bad. It also noted, additionally, despite solid ratings and user scores across the first party and Epic stores, that reflect an immersive and authentic Star Wars universe, Star Wars Outlaws' initial sales proved softer than expected. I did a video yesterday, actually, on the CEO just blaming gamers. Like, you've got too high expectations. Like, what? No, we just don't want to play shit. Our second quarter performance, this is the CEO. Our second quarter performance fell short of our expectations, prompting us to address this swiftly and firmly, with an even greater focus on a player-centric gameplay-first approach and an unwavering commitment to the long-term value of our brands. I think this is why... I mean, look, Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be terrible anyway, but I think this is also why they shelved it for a while. So it moves it into the next quarter, and it may even be another financial year. I know some people think financial years end and start in April. It's not true, depending on what country you're in. We don't know. I don't know where they're doing their, where Ubisoft is doing their financial years from. But at the very least, moving Assassin's Creed Shadows down the road, it moves it into another quarter, so they can at least say, hey, actually, this is boosted now. It's good. We've got good bookings this quarter. It's better than last quarter, and then that would obviously inevitably reflect well on their stock. Maybe that's what they're thinking or hoping. I'm betting you I'm right with that. But anyway, so this was so bad. This whole status of the brands and how everything was going bad was so bad that the board of directors has now launched an internal review of the company. That's right. Yeah, Ubisoft has an internal review of the company because it's terrible at the moment. And they say this, quote, beyond the first important short-term actions undertaken, the executive committee under the supervision of the board of directors is launching a review. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Aimed at further improving our execution, notably in this player-centric approach and accelerating our strategic path towards a hard-performing model to the benefit of our stakeholders and shareholders. Yeah, you should probably get on that then, shouldn't you? Oh, dear, oh, dear. And there's also a push from an investor as well. To get the company to go private, no longer be public, which would actually be really smart, to be fair. Like, the company's absolutely diabolical at the moment, so they really should do that. And there was also another. It's just ongoing. There was also another company, or at least another union, which was trying to get everyone who works for Ubisoft to strike as well, which is hilarious. And it does say this: the company's indicated it does hope to boost sales by polishing the game. Release a fucking finished product then, excuse the language, but stop selling games that are broken. Stop selling games that aren't finished. Stop selling games with huge patches. Because I do honestly think that the video game industry's done with it now. Right? Like, I think people are sick of it now. I think we've discovered that. Like, it's a meme. Oh yeah, day one patch. Like, no, people are sick of it. People will not drop $70+, sometimes over $100 in the case of this game, on a broken piece of junk. We're not interested. No, go away. Go away. So yeah, it does say this. These dismal sales are even bigger black eye when one realised that the company threw a ton of money at this game, with Gilmour sharing back in May that the game was receiving Ubisoft's largest marketing budget ever. And they flew like YouTubers all across the world to promote this. Super weird. Like, super bizarre. But there you go. This is a complete failure. Star Wars is dead. This is now dead. 1 million copies is embarrassingly bad for a Star Wars game. But there you go. It's not a surprise. Let me know your thoughts down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.